Hello everyone, this is Beatrice. Welcome to our fourth class together and to a new week. For today's practice, we're going to use 2 blocks, a strap, a roll, and if you have a little blanket or something to pad your knees. Blocks is something you can replace with books. Strap is something that you can replace with a belt or a scarf, and a rolled up mat you can watch. There's a million of really good tutorials online, and you can use an old mat or an old blankie or a towel, and you just roll it up. Mine got a bit squashed, but you can make yours a bit more round, and then you kind of secure it with paper tape. Okay, we're going to start in Virasana, and I'm going to show you from the side. So I'm going to take my 2 blocks and stack them on top of each other, okay, creating a little bit of a high seat today. And then I'm going to kneel in front of my blocks, separating the shins nice and wide. And usually a good measurement is to have the blocks, say, from ankle bone towards the inner arch of the foot, the very bottom part of the ankle bone close to the foot, and the center of the inner arch. Yeah, that's a measure. And then what I'll do is that maybe I'll stand and sit a couple of times, and I'll just work on massaging the calf muscles outward a little bit, so there's a little bit more space for the back of my thighs to settle. And then slowly I'm going to start accommodating the little toes that don't want to spread on the floor. You can use your hands. And then once that you find your seat, try to scoop your tailbone down. So press the sitting bones into the blocks, draw the tailbone down, and try to bring the shoulders on the same plane of the hips. And then rest your hands into your laps. You're going to hold it. I'm just going to turn around so that as we move, you can see me clearly. So as you start finding your breath in Virasana today, can you make it a little bit more expansive? Turn on your deep breathing. And as you breathe into your body, can you visualize your body as a home made of different rooms? And perhaps one room is your physical body. Another room may be your mental body. A third room is your emotional body. And the fourth room is your spiritual body. And all these rooms form the full shape of a house, of a home. And you move between rooms using the torchlight that is your breath. You shine the light of your own awareness into the dark corners of the rooms. You become conscious. Let's start with the body. That's the easiest part. The area where you may encounter any tweak, restriction, stress, any kind of pain. Notice the area that feel broad and buoyant and spacious. Notice the areas that don't come so easily to your awareness. With the breath, you're kind of sweeping the dusts from the walls and the furnitures that are your organs, your muscles. And you allow the inside of your body to shine by simply flooding it with breath. One of the amazing cleansing breath that our practice offer is Kapalabhati, or the skull shining. It's a breath that involves the core but also clears out the frontal lobe of the brain, and it really helps with sinuses. So the way it works is that it's a pumping action of navel to spine. Okay, and you pump and pump and pump, and that's how you get the air out. Usually when we normally breathe, there's a lot more muscular activation when we inhale to expand, and exhale become the release, the softening. But now we kind of reverse the order. We do a vigorous exhale through a pump that looks more or less like this. And if you notice, and I'm going very slow for you to try and notice, that the inhale becomes the release now. So in order to really target the core area or the navel area today, we actually gonna raise our arms above the head. So with your next inhale, imagine to have 2 air balloons underneath your armpit. Raise your arms all the way up. Interlace the fingers at the wellbeing and flip the palms up to the ceiling. Big breath in. Exhale, slide the shoulder blades down the spine and draw the tailbone into the blocks. Half a breath in, and as you exhale is 50 Kapalabhati pump starting from now. At the end of the last exhale, lower the hands, and this time interlace your fingers behind your back. Squeeze the palm of the hands together and start to raise through the chest. Squeeze the shoulder blades. Both hands come onto your left hip, and your left ear softens to the shoulder. Left elbows point back. You're just stretching out your neck here. Opening that right collarbone as you peel it away from the center of your sternum. And using the right forearm to encourage the tailbone down. On your next inhale, slowly draw the chin to the chest. Extend again the arms behind you and lift your sternum to your chin, but keep the chin tucked to the throat. And then release, inhale, both arms all the way up. With a little bit of distance between your hands, twist to the right now. Left hand onto the right thigh, right hand comes behind you, and you just wrap yourself around the axis of your spine, perhaps looking over your right shoulder. If you want a little more, maybe that left hand can again go into half bind. Maybe you can reach for your foot or your heel. That would be the left foot or the left heel. Then you just wrap a little deeper, opening up the chest, finding the length, the spaciousness with the torso. With your next inhale, look forward, and as you exhale, slowly unravel the twist. Give a little bit of a loop with the shoulders. Inhale, roll up, and exhale, lift back and down. Second round Kapalabhati breath, changing the interlace of the fingers. So again, on your next inhale, float your arms up to the ceiling lightly, and slowly and with connection, interlace the palms at the wellbeing, and this time switch the index that you have in front. Open up the armpit, open up the inner line of your arms. Take a deep breath in, all the way out. Half a breath in, 50 Kapalabhati pump. With the 50th exhale, slowly release the hands. Change again the interlace of the fingers now behind your back. Lift chest up. Open up the shoulders, open up the chest. Both hands onto the right hip. Right elbow points back. Now it's the right ear that softens to the shoulder completely. Try not to sink lower ribs into pelvis, but use that right hand to encourage the right hip down and start to telescope the lower ribs up and away from the top rim of your pelvis. Soft jaw, soft neck. With your inhale, slowly bring the chin back to center, extend the arms behind you, and with the chin tuck, start to lift through the sternum, perhaps moving your hands away from you behind your back. And then slowly float your arms up. Feel the crown of the head also lifting up to the ceiling. Exhale, keeping the distance between your arms. Twist left, right hand, outer left thigh, left hand behind you. Maybe left hand finds a half bind. Maybe you can find your right heel with the left hand. And allow for a little bit of maneuvering, but once that you get your bind or the shape that you choose, try to soften into it. Soften your neck. Soften the shoulders away from the ears. Soften the tailbone in the earth. With your next inhale, look forward, unravel slowly, and then take again a loop with the shoulders, shrug them up to the ears, and then back and down. Okay, take a hold of your strap and your blankie. You may lift off the block. Try to put a soft lay underneath your knees. Look after your knee health. So you can take a blankie and fold it over a couple of times. I got a little bit of a scarf here. Not really a blankie, but it was handy today. Just to pad the knees, okay? I'm actually going to show you the next couple of things, some from the front, some from the side, so you have a better idea. But let's start here for now. I'm going to take my strap, okay? Tuck the toes under, so you're placing yourself almost like you're going into camel, but you're not yet. Okay, take your strap or your scarf and fold it in two so that when you raise your hands above your head, you're almost like in downward facing dog. For me, this is a bit too wide. I would go a little narrow. So definitely fold it in two. Perhaps you just need to walk your hands also a little closer to each other. So it's a V shape of your arms. It's not too narrow, it's not too wide. Have a feeling of downward facing dog. Take a big breath in. Telescope the ribs up. Exhale, let's take a side stretch to the left. So open, open, open to the left, and keep your strap nice and tight here. Keep it tight, and try to scoop the outer edges of your armpits and your arms towards the camera, towards the front of the room now. Inhale, come back to center, wiggle the ribs up, tuck the tailbone down. Exhale, go across towards the right, just opening side body here. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, lower the strap down. We are gonna add one more thing here, but I'm gonna show you this one from the side. So we're gonna add a little bit of an activation of core, but also back body. So here, after my second side stretch, with the next round, what I'm going to introduce is this action. So I tuck the tailbone, I firm back body to front body. Imagine to squeeze a big beach ball between your ankles, and with your next exhale, bring your whole torso and the pelvis and your knee perpendicular between ceiling and floor. And then inhale, I'm gonna come back up. Exhale, I'm gonna go left. Inhale, up. Exhale, front body to back body, go back, diagonal line. Arms are taut, and the strap is taut. Inhale, back to center. Exhale to the right. Center on your inhale. Exhale, draw back, activate your glutes, press them downward towards the insertion of the hamstring. Inhale, go back up. Exhale to the left. Center on your inhale. Exhale, draw back, extend the arms. Back body active, back body active. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, right. Center on your inhale. You can untuck the toes now, press the top of your feet down. See if you can go a little deeper as you exhale and you go back. Inhale, back up, last time. Exhale, left. Center in. Exhale, right. Center in. Exhale, draw back, squeeze the inner thighs towards each other. We're gonna see that now. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, release the strap down. You can place your blanket to the side, but we're gonna use again later. Okay, hands and knees. Preparing for dolphin. So lower down onto your forearms. Wrap middle finger and thumb at the top of your bicep. But once that you do so, notice how the shoulders are turning inward. Now, before I draw my forearms down, it's quite nice to actually use your fingers to roll them outward. And what I like to also do is to first place the palm of my hands up to the ceiling, and then slowly I turn that down. So I keep encouraging a little bit of external rotation, just as a direction, okay? Relax your head, lift the space between the shoulder blades, tuck toes under, navel to spine, tailbone up. These may be enough. Relax your head, or perhaps you walk your feet closer to your hands. Maybe you ground your heels on the floor. Head is absolutely relaxed, neck is relaxed. And you're really warming up and activating all the muscles underneath the shoulder, the side body, the lats. And the neck is relaxed, the trapezius, the upper trapezius are active. And the shoulder girdle is really awake in the shape, but completely decompressed. So there's almost a little bit of a gap between the head of the humerus or your upper arm bone and the shoulder socket. So don't jam, lift up away. The feeling is that you can see the difference. Here I'm collapsing, here I'm activating, I'm pressing back, allowing my legs to do the work. Okay, step back a little, just enough to release knees to the ground. Hands replace forearms, down dog. Big breath in, and a full breath out. With your next inhale, take a little step. So use your core to move your legs as you walk your feet to your hands, more or less towards the center of the mat. When you can't go any further with your feet, then hands maybe walk back, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen, Adha Uttanasana. Exhale, fall down, bend the knees, roll the spine all the way up. Once the shoulders stack above the hips, take a nice look with the shoulder, draw them back and up. Okay, take a hold of your roll and place it between the inner thighs, okay? Squeeze it nice and tight. I'm going to show you again this from the side. And bring your feet about hip width apart, okay? This can be quite close to the pubic bone, but not excessively close. Hands onto hips to start. And use your hands to encourage the pelvis down, the tailbone to tuck to the roll. Your legs now really firing, and I'm lifting these lower ribs up, 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 but keeping them towards each other. So these frontal ribs, frontal lower ribs, draw string towards the center of your body. And then relax your arms for a moment. Just feel yourself standing. Awareness of the whole body, almost like you are looking at your body from the bone marrow inside your spine. That's your point of view today. How does my body feels and looks from the very inside? What stimuli does the brain receive from the body? What message do the brain send back to the body? Okay, hands onto the back of the hips, telescope, lift, squeeze the elbows towards each other and lift. Now squeeze the block, draw the tailbone down and start lifting through the sternum. So there's not a lot of going back, it's more of a going up that draws me back. But I'm going up and then I just squeeze my elbows and that brings me back. But with my hands, I kind of encouraging the pelvis to go a little forward, the hips and the tailbone down. So again, I press the pelvis slightly forward and down and I lift the ribs up and I squeeze and I lift and I squeeze and I lift. Then I find my edge and I stay here and breathe. Opening the chest, mainly those of you that perhaps during the week can indulge a little extra TV, a little extra computer time, open up your chest, give it the break that it deserves. And then slowly come back up, take a look with the shoulders, lift them up, draw them back and down and find mountain pose. Again, standing nice and tall and straight, just feel. Mainly when we open up the chest area, the lungs, sometimes we got a little bit of a buzz. Go with the buzz, don't fight it. Imagine that buzz is the life force itself giving you energy for the day, giving you energy for the week. And that same life force that you invite with each and every breath. Second round, hands to the hips. Inhale, lift up, squeeze the shoulder blades together, squeeze the block, not the block, the roll. Try to draw the roll down, tuck the tailbone, lift up, breathe, pause. And then wiggle a little higher up and breathe and pause. And again, find height, find space and decompression instead of collapsing. Make space. The head is only following the line of the spine. So you just encourage the head in the same direction that your cervical spine is going. You don't collapse into the cervical. The cervical follows thoracic, and it's from the thoracic that you lift, 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 lift. Oh, such a nice opening. And slowly come back to center. Release the arms. Inhale, lift the shoulders up to the ears. Exhale, shrug them back and down. Okay, let's remove the little rolly and let's come to the front of our mats just for a little bit of movement here. So bring your feet a little separate and lift all 10 toes nice and wide. Imagine that you still have the roll between your inner thighs. Inhale, reach the arms above your head, big breath in. Exhale, buttock back, chest forward, fold forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, step the left foot back, left knee finds the ground. Inhale, Anjaneyasana, reach your arms above the head. Exhale, big circle, maybe a bird wing action. As you draw the hands back to the floor, you step back, high plank. Chaturanga with your knees or not draws you all the way down to the floor. Okay. Once you are on the floor, interlace your hands behind your back. Okay. Lift your thumbs off your sacrum. Take a big breath in. Lift your head and shoulders up and keep pressing the top of your feet into the ground. Open up the shoulder, the collarbones and squeeze the shoulder blades. Okay, roll the inner thighs up to the ceiling and firm the glutes towards the top of your hamstring. Another full breath in here. Lift a little high if you can. Feet still down. Exhale completely. Hands underneath shoulders. You can press into all fours to find down dog and then lengthen the spine. Take a full inhale. A deep exhale. Another full breath in here. As you exhale, step the left foot forward. Warrior one. Inhale. Reach your fingertips to the sky. Use the same interlace as you bring the hands behind you. Interlace the fingers at the webbing and then lift the sacrum up. Big breath in. Charge up your back leg, so make it active. From the right glute to the top of the hamstring, and from the outer right foot to the ground. Slowly with your next exhale, fold your torso on the inner line of that left leg and bring the hands all the way forward. Relax your head, relax your neck. Such a nice release. Inhale, look forward. Halfway lift, pivot onto that right foot and lift the heel. If you can, from here, you draw the chest forward, keep the interlace, lift the back leg in a nice open chest variation of Warrior 3. If you can and you want to, you can start straightening up the left leg a little bit. I like to keep it bent for balance and connection. And then slowly release, shower your hands to the floor, and the right foot meets the left, Uttanasana. Exhale your breath completely. Inhale, Adha Uttanasana, lengthen forward. Exhale, fold deep. Rise to standing, all 10 toes. Rise to the sky, firm the legs. Feel that imaginary roll between the inner thighs. Exhale, hands to the heart. We take it to the other side. Inhale, reach the arms above your head. Exhale, buttock back, chest forward, fold. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen. Exhale, step the right foot back now, right knee comes to the ground. Inhale, Anjaneyasana. Reach your arms up, firm the glutes. Exhale, nice open bird wing action. To relieve the chest from any compression, open up the collarbones, hands to floor. High plank, inhale. Knees down, chaturanga, exhale. Okay, now change the interlace of your fingers as you bring your hands behind your sacrum. Inhale, lift your head and shoulders up and move your hands up and away from the sacrum. Oopsie, I said to change, but I didn't. Okay, if you haven't done it already, again, take the opportunity to change. And then squeeze the shoulder blades, go up. So the same thing we were doing when we were standing is the same action we do here. Don't think up, think forward. Okay, and then lift the left leg. Lengthen it back, turn the inner thighs out, and then release it down. And then extend the right leg further back. Roll the inner thigh up, release it down. Now lift both legs and balance here. Breathe deeper, firm the back body. Let it squeeze to the front body. Activate the toes. Activate the shoulder blades, squeeze them between each other, towards each other. Yeah, so basically you squeeze the space between them. And then on your next exhale, slowly release, hands underneath shoulder. You can again move for all four and find your downward facing dog. Fluid movement. Big breath in. Full breath out. Another long inhale here. And a complete exhale. Right foot forward. Warrior 1. Inhale, you rise again. Arms reach up to the sky. Exhale, use the same interlace that you used on the floor in Shalabhasana. Sorry, mic issues and tops. To draw the fingers together and the palms together, and then move your thumbs away from the sacrum. Inhale, lift the chest up. Firm your left leg. Exhale, humble warrior. Bowing forward and releasing the neck. Now that the left leg has quite an impact here because this left leg is really supporting me and this right buttock is scooping across to the left. Okay, look forward for that Warrior 3 variation. Move your chest forward, power up your right leg. You might need to take your left leg a little closer before you lift it up. And then you decide what to do with the bottom leg, but activate it, whether it's straight or whether it's bent, and open up the chest. Shower your hands down to the floor. Left foot meets the right, halfway left here. Lengthen the spine forward, and then use a sound as you breathe out. Sigh the breath, release it down. Okay, on your next inhale, reach the arms all the way up, fingertips to the sky. Samastiti here, hands find the heart space. And then you breathe and you feel and you observe again. From that imaginary eye that sits in the marrow inside your bones. And release the arms to the side. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Uttanasana, relax your head, your neck and your shoulders. And then take a little step or a hug back. Down dog, stretch it out. Anahatasana, lower the knees to the ground. And we're going to take this in stages. So with the knees on the floor and the ankles right in line with the back of the knees. I'm going to create a solid foundation here on my legs, really firming outer thighs towards inner thigh and spinning the inner thighs back, okay, towards the back of your mat. And then what I'll do is that I'm going to lower down onto my forearms, make a shark fin with my hands, okay, so heel of the hands together, ball of the hand, fingertips. Then I'm gonna pop my head down. I hope you guys can still hear me. And then I'm gonna bend my elbows and place the heel of my hands behind my skull, so on the occipital region of my skull. And once that I got that connection, I'm gonna start walking the elbows forward, but melt the chest down. Melt the chest down. Maybe I pop my head up for a moment, bring it forward, then just allow the chest to melt, encouraging this opening around the seams of the body, and the sidelines, the edges. Legs are firm, toes stay tucked because they're supporting me, and the more I firm my legs, the more I can open the chest, and this might be enough for you. If you want to go a little deeper, then arms extend forward, again keeping a little bit of a distance between them. I hope you can still hear me. And then you lower the chin or the forehead onto the floor. And you just melt the chest. So again, it's the chest that leads. And it's the armpits area that open. And the side body that become broader. And release. Come onto all fours, walk your hands back underneath the shoulders. And for a moment, sit on your heels and take again your blanket and pad your knees. Okay, we're going to try a variation of camel with the roll between the inner thighs. I'm going to take a hold of my roll again and place it again between my inner thighs, okay? And we're gonna try and do different variation, and it's gonna be up to you how far you want to take it. Remember, if you're practicing at home, it's a sense of responsibility that you have towards yourself, and knowing, okay, what feels good in my body, what feels not good in my body, how far can I explore a shape without getting injured. And I think a lot that is going on at the moment with this quarantine really teaches us about looking after ourselves. We are the only one who can take charge and responsibility for ourselves and the impact that that has on the world. It's the simplest thing. If I get injured, then my husband, my mother, my friend will have to look after me, and I'm kind of lacking responsibility and taking my responsibility onto somebody else. And I think that this is one of the basics of like looking after ourselves, having full responsibility. Things happen, life happens, yes, of course, but mainly when I practice back bend or heart openers, I want to be fully responsible for myself. Okay, let's start with the toes tucked under. Imagine again to squeeze a beach balloon between your ankle bones, hands onto the back of the pelvis, okay? press the pelvis down, squeeze the roll and start lifting your chest up. Why I like to have my fingertips pointing up is that I don't want to do this and just bring my hips forward, because you see how I'm compressing here. So again, I want to lift and elevate and then go back. I want to lift and elevate and then go back. And the idea is that I'm rolling my inner thighs back, bringing the hips forward and going up with my chest. And then when I find that curvature that comes from the openness or the release or the opening of the upper thoracic, then I follow the line and I start going back and back and back. And then my head follows, but I don't strain my neck. And you can hear it from my voice, it doesn't change. Lift up, go back. Support your hips, slowly, slowly, slowly. Come back up once the shoulders stack above the line of the hips, then the head can lightly come back to center. Always be gentle with your head. The communication that happens between body and brain happens pretty much in the neck. It's through the neck that all the information gets to the brain. So cultivate that area with a lot of softness. If you become rigid, the communication between body and brain become rigid. Deep breath. Let the energy of the opening that you explore into Ustrasana or camel pose kind of dissipate into your body. And dissipate in a way that the tingling sensation nourishes the cells in your body. Second variation, we start again with the roll between the inner thighs. Okay, squeeze the roll. Now toes can be tucked or untucked, and you can just stay with the variation that we explored before. Press the top of your feet down, tuck the tailbone under. Find space here, so it's the lower ribs that start telescoping away from the top of the pelvis. Lift up, squeeze the blocks. Again, hands help my torso to lift. The hips go forward, but I'm not jamming into my lower back. I'm rather tucking the tailbone to the roll and going back and going back and going back. Either one hand at a time or both hands together. Find your heels if you can. If you can't, keep your hands onto your sacrum or onto the top rim of the pelvis. And then lift up through the chest, bring the hips forward and open, open, open. My head starts extending last. So I first firm my legs, then I open my chest, and then I just follow here with my head and open and feel and breathe. To come back, very important, hands onto hips, firm your legs, and then slowly unravel the spine from bottom back to top. Head comes last, really soft. Remove the roll, place it to the side and sit down. If you want a little bit of a comfy seat, you can also place the roll onto your heels and sit down. What's also nice here is that I can actually squeeze my tailbone to the roll and tuck a little bit without rounding, with just releasing. Deep breath. Long breath. And then slowly release the roll. If you have it, you can also move your blanket out of the way. Okay, down dog, just to encourage again space around the lumbar region of the spine, around the back body. So you can make it a little bit longer than usual. Maybe you paddle one foot at a time and open up the back of the knees, melting torso towards thighs, finding length, releasing. And then lift a little bit the lower frontal ribs towards the back of the rib cage and wrap the outer seam of your torsos towards the floor. So you create a little bit of a dome here. And then slowly step your left foot forward with your next exhale. Lower the right knee to the ground. Inhale, reach the right arm all the way up. Exhale, right elbow hooks outside of your right knee. First your outside of your left knee. First your right hand, left hand wraps on top, and you start lifting and wrapping almost away from the top of that right thigh. Okay, right knee lifts, squeeze the inner thighs, bring the shoulders back. That's maybe where you want to stay. Maybe you open right arm to floor, left arm to sky. Okay, I'm gonna watch out for the mic. The other option here, nice deep twist to release the back bends, is side scissors. So if you have side scissors in your practice, chaturanga arms, left leg moves to the front of the room, right leg moves towards the right hand side of the room. Maybe the gaze is towards the left. Neck is soft, legs are active. To come down, same thing. Ooh. Place my knees, lift up. Come back to the lounge. If you're still into a reverse lounge or revolve lounge, you can just hold some meters here and we all step back. Down dog. Deep breath in. Full breath out. Another inhale into Adho Mukha Svanasana. With the exhale, right foot steps forward, left knee comes to the ground. Okay, I think I should probably turn around so you can see me. And left arm rises all the way up. Exhale, elbow outside, right thigh. First your left hand, wrap your right on top. Turn the sternum to your fists. Soften the other shoulder. Firm that right foot to the ground. Tuck the tailbone down. Again, options to lift the knee, open the arms, or again, find your side scissors. You also got those two blocks there. So if you need blocks underneath your hands, you're always welcome to. Okay, this is one of the asanas where I need to stop talking. Again, right leg now to the front of the mat, left leg to the back. Finding the twist into the core. So it's not so much about the arms in the shape, but it's really about that feeling of wrapping around the central line. Okay, let's all meet back into a lounge. 2 step back, down dog. Full breath. Deep breath out. Lower both knees to the ground and slowly make your way onto your back body and take your roll with you. And bring your feet a little closer to you and then place the roll between the inner thighs. Okay, you can either stay here with your feet just elevated but the knees still bent, or legs can go all the way up to the sky. Interlace your fingers behind your head. Very simple core activation just to release the lower back. Okay, relax your head. That's your inhale. Stay open. Head can also be on the floor. Hold the breath in, squeeze the block, tuck tailbone up. Exhale, shoulders up, tailbone up, legs up. Inhale, head and shoulders lower, sacrum lower. Hold the breath in, squeeze the block, press sacrum down, tuck tailbone up. Exhale, lift, squeeze, core. Inhale, shoulders down, tailbone down. You can flex the ankles for a moment. Hold the breath in, activate your feet, squeeze the block, lift tailbone. Exhale, lift shoulders. Inhale, shoulders down, tailbone down. Hold the breath in, squeeze the block, firm sacrum, tuck tailbone up, and as you exhale, squeeze core. Last one, inhale, head and shoulders down, open the arms, take a deep breath in. Hold the breath in, press top rim of the sacrum down and lift tailbone up. Exhale, squeeze everything, head and shoulders up. Balance on your lower back as much as you can. And then release all the way down. Release the block. Okay, hug your knees into your chest. Give it a little bit of a rock from side to side. variation from here. If you got a strap and you would like to strap your feet, you're welcome to. You can just extend the legs up to the ceiling, kind of let them relax. Or Supta Paschimottanasana. You bring the legs at a diagonal line and then you start kind of jacking your body. You bring the thighs close to the torso, the tailbone forward, and the arms are heavy. So you're not pushing or pulling. You soften the arms down, and that allows your legs to come a little closer. Tailbone can lift, but you want to still encourage the top of the sacrum down into the floor. Chin is tucked, lower back is grounded. And you just shoot your heels to the back of the room and your toes spread towards the face. Gently release, bend the knees. Release your legs, release your arms. Try to keep that connection to midline. Today we work a lot with the central line of the body, so here in Shavasana, try to keep that central line still awake, passive, relaxed, but you're completely conscious of it. From the room of the body, we move now into the room of the mind. We explore it with breath, with a soft, relaxed body, but a sharp, focused awareness. The breath is the torchlight that shines the corner of our minds, the dust of our emotions. Marveling at all the corners, all the decoration of our inner home, the design of the thoughts, the tapestry of feeling. Feel the space around you. Feel the consistency of the air on your fingertips. And the floor that supports you. And you have full awareness of coordinating your internal space in the external space of the room where you find yourself now. And in your own time and your own way, you will eventually make your way back up into a seat to close. Thank you, lovelies, for sharing another practice with me today and throughout the rest of the week. I will see you in a week, and if you would like to participate to online streaming classes that are happening weekly, feel free to get in contact. Thank you very much, everybody. Aho. Namaste.